Hey guys, what's up? Joe Simpson here. It is 30 degrees on a Sunday morning and it is probably way too cold for me to be doing any fishing. But I wanted to talk about how things can change on a dime in terms of technology and your abilities to do things. Do you guys remember like the first time you were really wowed by technology? Like the first time that something took you back and made you go, holy crap, you know? I'll never forget, the first time for me was, I was in 7th grade. And this kid came up and he was wearing these strange looking things on his head, and I said, what's that? And he goes, it's a Sony Walkman. And I'm like, oh really, what's that all about? He goes, oh, you can listen to music and walk around. I'm like, oh cool. So let me see. And he put them on my head, and I'll never forget, that was the first time I was like, holy crap, how did they do that? You know, like how did they make it sound so good, you know, in something so small? And then I think years went by, and the second time that I was kind of awestruck was I walked into a store and there was a CD player playing, and I wasn't so much amazed by the sound of the music, although it was very clear and, you know, vibrant and nice. I was struck by like the in-between the tracks. There was no crackling of the record player. So things move at a rapid rate. You know, about a year ago I bought something that I think would have enhanced my video game, but just due to its size and price, I didn't use it that much. So in comes the game changer, in my opinion, in this sector. It's not going to be as wide reaching as like the CD player and things like that, but this thing's pretty cool. So here I am, I'm out ready to go fishing. I've got a pocket full of baits. You know, I got my fishing gear. Hold on, I do have a pocket full of baits. I got my plastic baits, my fishing rod. I'm gonna go fishing at this pond and I wanna catch some good angles, and I don't wanna carry a lot of crap. So literally I'm just walking around in my jeans and my jacket. But check this out, here's my controller. Carefully pulling it out of my pocket. Here's my drone, literally in my pocket. I've got enough batteries in my pants pockets to last for 60 minutes of flight time with this little guy. And it's just amazing to me, like what you can do now. Okay guys, so I just fired this thing up, and you can see here on the ground, there's my little drone. I try to get a little space for it to take off and land in case it has to do a come back home type of maneuver. It shouldn't. I have 98% battery and it should fly for at least a solid 20-25 minutes even in this cold weather. So to get this thing to take off, you pull your sticks down, starts up the engines, and then you just lift off. It's really not that noisy. All right, so I can look down, see where I'm positioning my camera. You can see that right there. I'm gonna just shoot out and turn around and film myself fishing for a little while. And I'm gonna walk over and hit record. It's sitting there hovering and recording, and we're gonna go fish. And it's that easy, man. And later in post-production, you can brighten the image, color the image, do different things. And today's not necessarily going to be so much about the fishing, because it's going to be the ability to set up, fish a spot, move, take this drone with me, and it's not that much of a hindrance for me doing my thing. So, and that's where the other one, the bigger one, was getting in the way of what I wanted to do. It was kind of causing me a little bit of headache because it had a case and it was expensive as crap, and I was really worried about it, and I was always, you know, freaking out. I have no idea what will be hitting today, if anything. But if I catch a fish, it'll just be a bonus. Now, if anything goes wrong with this drone, it has the ability to fly home, which I would hope it would go land somewhere close to that deck. Now, this particular drone's not as good as the other one for, you know, return to home. But we have low winds. I don't see any big ducks or anything that are gonna terrorize the bait. I don't see any ducks that are gonna terrorize the drone. So we should be okay. And what's cool is you can kind of like watch me cast and do things from the drone. And, you know, occasionally I can step over, just make sure I'm still in frame. Doesn't seem like it's moving or doing anything. I'll give you a shot of the drone. It's up there. I don't know if you can see it up there. I have no idea what these wintertime fish are doing. I'll throw out one of these swim baits here shortly. Just do that now. Feel better if I'm reeling and casting. Now, one thing you got to make sure of is you don't have Wi-Fi interference. You want to make sure you don't have any issues with you know, local laws and flight restrictions. I'm in a Class B restricted area, so I can't go real high here and do a whole lot. But the nice thing is there's no neighbor that's going to come out and say, what's that noise? You know, because you can't really even hear it. Now, DJI has a nice little feature. You can get something called, I forget what it's called. It's called like Crash Care or something strange like that. And it's a feature that allows you to kind of insure your drone. So if it were to crash, in theory, I'd have to swim out there and get it, because I think the rule is you have to have something to send back to them. But it's better than nothing. It's $35 and it will give me replacement of my drone twice. It's moving around a little bit out there, so I don't know if it's confused as to where it is, but I think it uses its lower cameras to do positioning. So we'll just see how it does. So yeah, he's jockeying around a little bit. I think the water confuses it just a little bit. The reflection makes it think that it's higher or lower. So definitely want to be careful. Anyway, I'm going to bring him in here and bring him down. You can land this thing right in your hand. Yeah, it's not nearly, here I am on the camera, it's not nearly as scary, you know, to land in your hand as the other one. So we're gonna leave it on and we're gonna walk around the bank. But what's nice is, look, this is all I've got in my hand. So yes, what I'm gonna do is fly her out here again, out over the water. I'm gonna turn it around to where it can see me, kind of film down this bank line. And I'm gonna pull the camera down. You can see it has an auto brightness and stuff, which is kind of cool for beginners. A lot of these pro guys don't like it. But yeah, I can leave her just about right there. And she's gonna record everything I do. I don't know why she's a she, but that's just the deal, man. So this is one of my homemade baits. It's got a kind of a, I don't know, pumpkin with confetti colored sparkle in it. And just casting her around, see if I can catch anything. See if anything's gonna eat today. I don't know. It's a little bit cold. Sure would be cool to catch a fish on video for you guys, especially on the drone. But I've yet to pull in a fish. No, I sold my G Loomis GLX rod to a guy over in Utah. He just received it the other day, got my full payment. What I didn't like about it, I think the rod's fine. I think the sensitivity's fine. The handle was fine. I had no problem with the handle. Everybody complained about the handle. I really liked it. The sensitivity was great. I was a little shaken that I broke one, but it was probably more my fault than the rod's fault. But what I didn't like about it, and everybody said, I just bought it too short. It was a 6.8 and it probably should have been a 7.2. It would have been much more usable in my opinion at that. I always felt like I just had a, I don't know, like I was short-handed every time I was setting the hook with that thing. So I decided to just move on, you know, get some money back from it and keep going. I mean, I have this 7-foot medium Cast King Speed Demon Pro, which I absolutely love. One thing you may want to do that I'm not actually doing is keep that remote very close to you, because if that thing decides to go down, you're either going to run for the drone or run for the remote. So what I can do is I can check this battery, which is 44%, guys. I've been flying this whole time at 44%. Now I'm going to turn this thing around and go fish the other side of the dam. Just hover here, and yeah, you can see the whole kit and caboodle from one good vantage point. So yeah, share with me below some of the things that you remember seeing technologically that blew your mind, that was like, whoa. Let's bring her in. Okay. You can hear her firing up when you move her around. Man, that bait looks so good. I gotta cast one more time. I gotta believe there's something out there that's at least looked at it. talk about resolution. The nice thing about the resolution on this thing is 2.7K, 30 frames. And with the GoPro, you can film 2.7K, 60 frames. So you can match your frame size, do a little slow motion from the GoPro, and do a little bit of, you know, high altitude, wide angle filming with the drone. The thing I found about the drone, you don't need the slow motion quite as much, because when you get farther away from things, it just looks naturally like they're happening slower. So I think I'm gonna call it quits, guys. I gave it a good valiant effort. Probably came to the wrong ponds, but that was good. Let's bring her home. Kind of show you where I'm at on this thing right now. It's sitting solid, and it is at, let's see, I can bring the gimbal down. Okay, 64%. 64%. So I'm gonna fly this thing right up to me. Right over here, come here. All right, she has landed. I'll cut her off. Recording is stopped, and I'll see you guys later after I edit.